very quick warm-up. The first thing we're going to do is just a couple of rotations here with the wrists. So all I'm doing is literally clenching the fists and rotating at the wrist joint there. And we do this because it's going to really help when we do the cobras towards the end. So a couple of stretches here, great for the tendons as well. And then from here, simply going to bring the hand in like that there. And then we bring the hand back. And of course to the other side. And we're back. There we are. Okay, tricep stretch. This arm's going to be nice and straight. Going to bring the arm into the chest and we're going to hold about there. You're going to feel the stretch in your shoulders. Again, very good for triceps. And we just hold there. This arm is also completely locked, so there's no bend at the elbow. And the same thing to the other side. Lock the arm first, nice and straight. Apply the pressure just to the elbow there, and the arm comes in. And then if you can, this hand goes down to the shoulders like this. And we're going to stretch there. And again, same thing to the other side. Okay, so once we've done that, just a very quick stretch now for the neck. We're going to place the two hands onto the back of the head, gently going to bring it down to the floor like this. Again, there's not too much pressure here. And then two thumbs under the chin, gently pushing back up. Slowly to the middle, head to the side. To the middle, head to the side. Good stuff. Okay, with the legs. So I'm just going to hold one leg here, nice and straight, and I'm resting on this foot. I can also bring this knee down to the ground and hold here as well if this is more comfortable. So we're just going to stretch out this leg here. Again, very good for the abductors and the adductors. This will make sense now soon enough. And of course, I'm just going to then go to the other side like this. There we are. Good stuff. Okay, so that's the basic stretching out the way. What we're going to now do is come down to the floor. We're going to try just a couple of our L-sits and get-ups to begin with. So we're going to stretch back the arms here. Okay, so a full body stretch here, pointing back the fingers. We're going to point the toes. The thoracic here is nice and straight. Pelvic floor is also grounded. Deep breaths in through the nose. You want to make sure you inhale through the nose. And then you want to exhale through the mouth. So that's really the breathing technique we're going to set now. Breathe in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Okay, first of all, into those get-ups. Slowly, hands are coming to the chest. You're going to see for those core muscles to lift to a seat position to neutralise the back. And then we're going to exhale and stretch comfortably to the feet there. This is as far as I'm going to go. If I can't get to the toes, I just go as far as I can. Then I bring the hands back to the chest. This is going to help neutralise the back. Then we create flexion by bringing the body down. And then the hands go back. Big stretch. Hands again into chest. Core for lift. Raising up. Neutralising the back. Exhaling, creating flexion again to the feet there. Hands come back to chest. Spine's neutral. Flexion. Again that curve on the way back down and stretching back the arms. If I struggle to use my core here for this lift, what I can do is tuck one leg in, so it's almost at 90. Hands go underneath the thigh here, and I can kick. If I kick this leg, this can help launch up. Now I'm neutralised, and then I stretch to the feet for flexion. This is also very good for the hamstrings. So you'll find that when you're stretching to your feet, you start to feel your hamstrings engaging and your calves, and your lower back tissue, the lumbar region of the spine. Hand back to chest, curving, body drops, hands go back, body's locked. Hands to chest. Again, if I don't have the core muscles, here's my kick. Nice and fast with the kick, neutralise the back, stretch to the feet. Hands are back, flexion on the way down, hands back past the head. And again, nice and slowly if I can, hands to chest, another lift here with my core muscles, lifting, lifting, lifting. Obviously it's going to be harder the slower we go, but better for those abs, and stretch into the feet there. Okay, I'm going to take my last one now, hands again to chest, dropping the body down, hands are going back. And final one here, hands to chest, core for lift, stretch into the feet there. Okay, so we're going to bring the body down, we're going to try some L-sits. Arms going to go back, and nice and straight. Breathing through the nose, exhale through the mouth. A few deep breaths here. Now slowly if we can, arms are going to come forward. Then we engage to our lift, and now we finish in our L-sit right there. Now we bring the hands to here. Again, more flexion on the way down. Hands go back. Breathing in through the nose, there. Call for lift. Exhale. Arms to here. Body drops, hands go back. Arms come forward. Core for lift. Arms to here. And again, body drops, hands go back. And again, deep breath in through the nose, bringing the arms forward, peeling the spine off the mat. I'll sit right there. Hands to here, curving on the way down, again flexion on the way down, and hands, they go back. Okay, let's take our last two like this. Arms come forward, core for lift, hands, body goes back. And then my final one here, again, going to bring those arms forward, core for that lift, slowly on that lift up, and we're here. Okay, from here let's continue to the feet there. And if you can, again, try as much as possible to avoid the slight bend. If you tend to bend at the leg, you're going to lose that restriction of the calf and the hamstring. So try and have the leg as straight as you can, even if it means you can only get your hands to say about here. This is much better than being able to get to the feet by having the legs bent. We want to make sure we try and have the legs as straight as you can around about there. So again, if my legs are straight, this is as far as I can go, this will work. It's also very good for your lower back tissue. So we're just holding here if we can, legs are straight. Slowly from here we go to our jackknife. This is where we keep the right hand exactly where it is. So whether I'm onto the toes or the legs, this right hand stays where it is. The left arm will lock out to the back and the head turns away from the body. And then slowly, left hand will come around out to that left foot, right arm against the back, and the head turns away. Hand against the foot there, with both the hands. And now from here, we can have our left leg raised like this. Your left leg will be raised. Your right arm goes on the outside of your left leg. Your left hand will go to the back, and the head turns away from the body. Then we go towards middle, and of course same thing to the other side. Right leg is now raised, left arm outside of the right knee, right hand to the back, and the head turns. These are all stretches now for the spine And also those obliques get a good warm up here as well. Okay, onto the IT bands. This connects from the glute region towards the kneecaps. It's a great stretch for that tendon there. Same as before though, your left leg comes in. I'm going to try and get this heel as close as I can to the glutes. Left leg will then cross my right leg. My left hand will come down to the floor, so this is grounded to the floor. My right forearm hooks my left knee, and there's my IT band stretch. And if you have excuse me, a tight IT band, you begin to feel the pinch around your glutes. If you don't feel a pinch, it doesn't matter, it means they're in good form. But these are, again, very good stretches to do to look after our kneecaps. Again, bit of a stretch down those glutes, that's exactly what I'm after. I know the other side is a little bit tighter though, so I'm going to rest this left leg down, right leg comes in, again nice and close to the glutes, and then that right leg will cross the left leg. So now my left forearm hooks my right knee, my right hand's to the floor, and again there's that stretch. So around this area here I've got the pull, but again it connects to the kneecaps, the IT band. Stuff. Okay, so we're doing lots and lots of stretches at the moment, which is what we're after. We want to make sure we stretch everything out instead of going straight into the exercises for the back. We need to make sure those muscles are warm. The main muscles we're going to cover that is, just very briefly now, both the hands here go underneath the calf area. We bend at the elbows, head to the knees. Again, I'm not going to try and curve like this to the back. Near enough neutralising the spine, but I am leaning forward. Slight curve, but fairly neutral. Again, I can feel that there with those hamstrings. Okay. So we're going to come down onto the mats, into our double knee tuck. There's a couple of ways you can do this now. If you're able to, you want to see if you can bring your head down to the floor, like this. This is going to help neutralise your back, also going to help stretch out those glutes, and very good for recovering the stomach muscles there when they're overworked. But if this is too much to hold, what you can do very, very slowly is raise the head and hold here instead. So you'll find if you're more of a beginner, your back's a little bit delicate, this is a much better stretch to do than having the head down to the floor like this. This can be fairly intense for some, so we can hold here. This is our double knee tuck here. And now we're going to try some core exercises. So first thing I'm going to do is bring the feet down to the ground. I'm going to make sure I have the head down to the floor and place the hands onto the thighs. So I'm on the top of the thighs here. I'm going to use this portion here as a rail to help raise my body up using my core, and I'm going to work a breathing technique as well. So I'm going to breathe in through the nose as I travel up, trying to come off thoracic and staying on lumbar. So by that what I mean is I breathe in, I lift. This is as high as I want to go. My thoracic is off the floor, and then I bring the body down to here. Head rests back down to the mat. Breathing in, exhaling. So I inhale my lift, exhale. You're also trying to tighten up the abs here, tighten the glutes as well. Really try and keep those abs engaged. Does help the exercise. Inhaling, exhaling. I breathe in here, exhale, exhale. So I want to make sure I inhale as I raise the body off the mat. The reason we do this is because you want to try and get as much O2 into your muscles as you can for the lift, and then you get rid of the CO2 with the drop back down. So I breathe in with that lift, I breathe out with that drop. I breathe in through the nose here, exhale there. If you find your neck muscles here start to pull slightly, rest the head down, or like I said before, double knee tucks here for recovery, then go when you're ready. It's really, really important you only do as many as you're comfortable doing, and that you maintain good quality, and don't really ever worry about the numbers. It's always quality over quantity. especially when we work with the spine and the core, the very delicate areas. So always make sure you keep that quality and take the break whenever you need to. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale for the lift, exhale for the drop. And breathing in and out. Okay, I'm nearly finished myself now. Head comes all the way back down each time. This is my last lift. I'm going to rest the head down. I'm going to bring the knees in, or again, if it's too much pressure here, I can keep the head off the mat there, like this. Okay, good stuff. Let's try some leg raises here. So for the leg raises, I'm going to place the hands down underneath the glutes. Head is down to the floor. Knees and feet together. A few deep breaths in here through the nose. Exhale back through the mouth. And then breathing through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So we're just laying down on mats here for now, nothing much. Spine is neutral. Bring the heart rate down slightly before we go into our leg raises. So I'll just talk you through it before we actually do the exercise. We're going to stay laying down on the mats. Hands stay exactly where they are. Head stays where it is. All we're going to do is raise the legs off the floor as we inhale, and we exhale back with the drop. So if you can, try and keep legs completely straight from where you are right now, and then take a deep breath in through the nose. You're going to lift the feet, and as you start to lift the feet, you're going to feel your lower back begin to stretch. That's your lumbar tissue there. If this is too much, have a short breather here, otherwise try and power through. So take a deep breath in, we're going to raise the legs off the floor, stopping just before 90 from the body, and then we're going to exhale slowly and the feet come back down towards the ground. If you can, you're going to try and do it so the feet don't touch the floor. So let's breathe in with the lift, again stopping before we get to 90 from the body, 90 degrees that is. Exhaling with the drop before we touch the floor, breathing back in. Exhaling with the drops, breathing in with the lift. Again, as you raise the feet off the floor, lumbar becomes pressed into the mat. Exhaling, bring the feet back down, creates that natural stretch there with that back tissue. That's an extension there as the feet are coming down. Breathe in with the lift, breathe out the drop. Again, very good for working lower back here, and our lower abs with hip flexors. Inhaling with lifts, exhaling with drops. Okay, I'm going to take another two here, they are tough. Breathing in, and out. Last one here, nice deep breath in. Exhaling back there nice and slowly. From here, another double knee tuck, head is raised off the ground, and we're going to hold there. Okay, good stuff. So now we're going to ground the feet to the floor, we're going to keep the legs bent there, near enough for that degree. Head and shoulders are nice and high, and with the right hand first of all we're going to exhale here, breathe into the middle, exhale there. Breathe into the middle. So I'm going to exhale first to the right hand side, then I breathe into the centre, and then exhale to the left. We do this exercise now to help those obliques and create flexion for the spine. So my head and shoulders are nice and high, they're not going to be down like this. Nice and high here. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So if I struggle to get to the feet, another thing I can do is bring the feet in slightly closer. This is easier to get to, and of course for more of a challenge, feet further away, so you really have to stretch down and around. And last one here. Rest head back down, or have the head raised, double knee tuck, and a short few breaths there to calm that heart rate right back down. Good stuff. Okay. So, what we've done so far is a nice bit of core, some great stretches and flexion work. We're going to do some extensions now to finish. Again, these are very good for the back. They do take some practice, take your time. There's a few things to remember here as well, so I'll talk you through these as we do them. Okay, so in yoga, this exercise is part of the exercise is called the child's pose. We tend to call this the downward dog, and then we break it down into passive or active. So, this would be a passive downward dog. When I rest onto the mat is my forearms, like this. I want to curl up as much as I can, and I can bring my head down to the floor like this. This is creating flexion for the lower back here. So this is our passive downward dog. Active downward dog, fairly similar. The only difference is we have the arms locked out. So the arms this time are nice and straight, and I can also bring my fingers up onto the tips to help stretch out those wrist joints, because they will start to get a bit sore here after we've done this next exercise. So again, head comes down, and there's my stretch. Okay, so we're going to first of all go into our Cobra exercise. We're going to bring the body forward nice and slowly. We're going to drop the hips down, and we're going to hold there. So I want to make sure my arms are always directly under the shoulders here, shoulder and hand. And this arm isn't bent, it's completely straight. I press the hips down, squeeze back the shoulders, and we look to the front there. If there's too much pressure here for your lower back, you can alternatively just bring the body back slightly to here. That will take pressure off lumbar. Or you can actually bring your hands completely down to the floor and hold here instead. So either or. So I'm going to go for my full Cobra. This is where I lock out the arms and I look to the front. This is now extending our back, opens up the chest, it allows the organs to breathe. It's a great stretch for the lower back tissue, but just pay very close attention to the spine that it's not too sore, there's not too much of a strain. From here, I go back to that passive downward dog we were talking about, so I'm going to rest the forearms to the floor. Head comes down to the mat, glutes to the feet, and I hold. This is now creating the flexion part of the exercise. So we're flexing and extending the back here. Again, nice and slowly. I come forward, I can walk the hands forward there. I can drop the hips down, arms are straight, look to the front, and now as our Cobra right there. Again, great flat back. Really feel the stretch down the chest as well today. I'm still breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And again, nice and slowly, all the way back to another passive downward dog. Forearms again to the floor, head to the mat, and the glutes to the feet. And then my last Cobra here, so my last traditional Cobra like this. There we go. Okay, so now from here we'll go all the way back. This is our active downward dog, so we're going to have the arms nice and straight. Again, bring the fingers up into the tips here. It's going to help stretch out those wrist joints. I can bring the head down to the floor and I can hold there. Okay, let's go to our halfway position here. We're going to try the cat-cow, so again, take some practice here. What you're going to try and do is move the lower portion of the spine here, the pelvis area of the back. It's another flexion and extension, but again, it does take lots and lots of practice. So don't worry if you don't get it first time. It's called the cat-cow, and again, there is a set breathing technique. So for the cat-cow, what we're going to do is have the hands, again, underneath the shoulders. It's also called our tabletop. And the aim is to try and press the hips down. This is going to extend out your tailbone. We look to the front, and again this is our extension. This is our cow position. Our cow position, you can see I've dipped here at this portion of the spine. Great stretch. And then from here we have our cat position. This is now where we arch the spine, almost trying to bring the belly button in towards the back of the spine. And I can look towards the stomach as well, to there. Okay, breathing technique as follows. Let's go back to cow. And breathe in through the nose. And into cat. Exhale. And we're breathing in. Arching spine, raising tailbone. Exhale. Inhale. Through the nose, always breathing in through the nose. Exhale. Through the mouth there. Breathing in. And out. And inhaling. Cow position there. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And we're back. Okay, from here, we're going to bend at the right arm. Our left arm will feed through, your head will come down to the floor. This is called through the needle, again very good for warming down our lower back tissue. So I've rested my head onto the mat, my left arm is completely straight down to the floor, and my right hand is there. Through the needle to finish. Nice and slowly to the middle. Same thing to the other side, so now obviously I bend up my left arm, I feed my right arm through. You won't see so much here, but if I turn the body, you have an idea like this. Okay, we're back to the middle there, and we can completely relax. So that's a great little warm-up you can do, including the exercises themselves, or within 20 to 30 minutes. You can do them as well every day. They're very good for the lower body, very good for the spine as well, the top parts of the shoulders. Just to pay very close attention when you do exercises like this. I'd say no more than 2 to 3, what we did with the Cobra anyway, of these at any one time. And again, if there's ever too much pressure to the lower back, just bring your movement in slightly and hold here instead. So again, thank you very much for watching there, and have a fantastic day.